Hello indie game fans, the Steam Next Festival begins on Monday, but you can get a head start on the event over the weekend by playing these demos which are already available. Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds Ultimate is a remaster of a game originally released on the Xbox 360 in 2013 and will be coming to PC and all modern platforms in 2025. This is a very anime beat-em up that has been well received, sporting gorgeous pixel art and co-op support, even having cross-platform online play. The arcade mode allows you to play as enemy characters and should be fun, so if you love the genre, give this a try. I've had my eye on this next title, which has been in development for quite a long time, where I'm not sure if it ran into any trouble during development, but the delays seem concerning, where I believe Rose and Locket has also subtly changed its description from Metroidvania to action platformer, in a move that mirrors that of Flynn, Son of Crimson. This new trailer shows off some side-scrolling shoot-'em-up action which was not previously seen, so it could very well be more linear, but it still remains a gorgeous title, and apparently the developers will reveal more news about the release after the festival. This video is brought to you by Lost But Found, a cartoony and very cute looking hidden object game, but one that is more than just that, adding in a job simulation aspect. You are in charge of the Lost and Found department at the airport, having to manage customer requests in a timely fashion, being able to purchase upgrades to get more efficient with an adorable presentation, and goes to show that developers can innovate even in well-trodden genres. Here's a title that I'm looking forward to in Puropu Defense Squad, an action tower defense title with a cartoony presentation. This follows in the footsteps of games like Orcs Must Die, being from a third-person camera angle in which you are controlling sentient props to take on wacky human enemies. It looks pretty good and has variety in terms of playable characters, with at least 5 mentioned on the Steam page, as well as an array of traps, turrets, barricades and more. There is a co-op campaign mode with increasing levels of difficulty, as well as the roguelite style choice between 3 random upgrades, and will be for fans of the genre. I last talked about VOIN not too long ago, where this first-person hack-and-slash action title was recently showcased with a new trailer, which was in service of announcing their participation in the Steam Next Festival. This looks awesome, probably due to Unreal Engine 5, in which you can use an array of melee weapons and movement abilities to most effectively take out your enemies. This has an open world structure, so you are free to roam and explore, with trailers showing off the ability to platform and dash your way up steep castle walls, and then to leap down and pounce on your enemies. So the combat and action here definitely looks like a highlight, since you're able to use primordial elements as well. You do have a hub area to return to, which is where you upgrade your skills, also having challenging boss fights, and should be a great game. I love the variety that indie games provide, which is why we can swing from the grimdark, extreme blood and gore of VOIN to something like World's Worst Handyman, a comedy stealth title in which you play as the titular character, taking on various repair jobs to disastrous consequences. This can include plumbing or fixing electrical circuits, but of course, as the world's worst handyman, you can screw up and must avoid angry customers. It is all for a good cause, however, as our protagonist wants to save his struggling animal shelter, with the comedy stealth elements here chaos, reminding me a little bit of Untitled Goose Game, and looks like a good time. We also have a hotly anticipated sequel of sorts in Lonely Mountains Snow Riders, the follow-up to Lonely Mountains Downhill, which was a downhill mountain biking game that was pretty neat. The objective in the previous game, and I suppose this one as well, is to make it down the mountain as quickly as possible while avoiding crashing. But the cool thing about how the levels are constructed is that if you are good enough, you can find and use shortcuts to your advantage. This game is of course skiing instead of mountain biking, but is similar in concept, with their signature low poly look making a return and looks pretty nice. There is also multiplayer support and you can race your friends, but if I remember correctly, this should be more of a time trial kind of game, with you competing against the clock and the mountain itself. A highly anticipated title also gets a new demo along with confirmation that its early access release is soon, where in Trash Goblin, you play as the titular character, chipping away and cleaning junk to uncover the hidden treasure beneath, upcycling them so that you can sell the processed item to customers. There will of course be plenty of upgrades as you upgrade the shop, get better tools and expand your business to new areas of the town, looking like it's a game for tinkerers. This is a very simulation game in nature, but with perhaps more of a tactile feel to the gameplay since you are manually using the tools to clean the junk and looks pretty good, so if curious, definitely give this a go. Survival horror fans have been eating good as of late with the well-received Silent Hill 2 remake, the release of indie titles like Hollow Body, Crow Country, and even Signalis, so here's another promising looking entry in BECROWNED. Again, as not the biggest horror game fan, this title looks more Silent Hill than Resident Evil to me, so take that how you will, and despite the almost modern day-ish setting, the developer describes this as having you exploring the ruins of an ancient kingdom, where you might become the savior of the world or even choose to destroy it. It's weird and esoteric in that horror game kind of way, so we'll have to see on the story and narrative when this releases, but for now, its demo is already out, so give it a try. I just said that survival horror fans are eating good right now, and have another game to add to that pile in Sorry We Are Closed, one of the creepiest looking titles that I have come across, mixing the PS1 era polygonal look with both first-person combat and fixed camera exploration of environments as you wander through unsettling locations. A curse has been placed on our protagonist by a demon looking for love, where you are spending the final days of her life with her as she attempts to find ways and means to break the curse. Key to all of this is your third eye, which can be opened to allow her to look in between worlds, allowing you to explore further, uncover secrets and to solve puzzles, but can also be used in combat to reveal enemy weak points. There is a cast of characters to get to know in the London borough that she lives in, where you can help or hinder these other characters, so in addition to regular survival horror, this has a vibe similar to that of Paradise Killer, Killer 7 or even Persona, looking to be very unique and must be checked out. Again, let's ride the indie rollercoaster back to a very different kind of game in this farming life sim action-adventure title named Luma Island. While at its core, you are doing your farming game stuff like building your encampment, growing crops, fishing and crafting, this blends that in with action-adventure style combat where you are exploring ancient temples and spider caves in search of treasure. The developers talk about having 7 unique in-depth professions, each with their own progression path, and with up to 4-player co-op, I'm sure that you and your friends can help each other out depending on which you pick. As such, this does remind me of Fantasy Life on the 3DS with the added things to do, and should be for fans of games like Core Keeper, and boy, this game sure does look pretty, doesn't it? And it releases soon after the festival as well. Watch this video for indie game hidden gems not to be missed.